Here we are in the middle of Holy Week, getting closer and closer to Easter. Today is Maundy Thursday, and we have a beautiful day for it. The sun feels great, snow's really melting rapidly, and that hope and promise of new life is here, and we're really excited about it, especially here in South Dakota. Maybe those of you who are viewing this, maybe you feel the same way about where you are as well. What is Maundy Thursday all about? Well, Maundy actually comes from the Latin word to mean mandate, and it means a command. If somebody gives you a mandate, they're giving you a command. And it was the night before in which Jesus was betrayed. He instituted the Lord's Supper. The next day, he was going to be crucified on the cross. Actually, in the middle of the night is when his unfair trial would take place. And tomorrow will be that observation of Good Friday, and we're going to have a message for you then too. So make sure you tune in to the Outdoor Pastor, 15:5 Ministries. And I love my Outdoorsman Bible because I was reading a little story here that I'm going to share with you in a minute. But the command that Jesus gave when he instituted the Lord's Supper in the middle of the Passover meal that he was celebrating with his disciples, he washed their feet. And he gave the command, just like I washed your feet, so I want you to wash others' feet. I mean, love one another, serve one another. Okay, we're not here just to serve ourselves. I mean, there is no satisfaction in that. You might think there is, but you will always come up feeling empty. So Jesus washes their feet, and I've said this before, but it's worth repeating because people forget this. But it's really uncomfortable having somebody wash your feet. I mean, I know when we did that at our church many times, people just felt so uncomfortable. Ooh, the foot washing, that's weird. And Peter felt that way too. He's like, Lord, don't wash my feet. I don't want you to do that. In other words, I can't bear the thought that you would be doing that. And that's when Jesus said, Peter, if you don't let me wash your feet, you have no part of me. And that's when Peter said, not my feet only, but my head and my hands. Man, I want all of you, Lord. Do what you need to do. Wash our feet, cleanse us, save us. That's what he did with his people of Israel. He took them out of Egypt, where they were slaves. And when he did that, the angel of death passed through Egypt, killing all the firstborn because Pharaoh was so stubborn and he wouldn't let the people go. He wouldn't let them be free. And the Israelites were saved if they sprinkled blood on their doorposts. So the angel passed over their house. Their firstborn didn't die, and that Passover is what they were celebrating. And that's when Jesus instituted the Lord's Supper. Take and eat, take and drink. This is for me, given and shed for you. Wow. It's a great celebration for all Christians all over the world. Let me share this with you. 2 days into a 7-day elk hunt in New Mexico, the outfitter came to me and said, Jason, we received a ham radio message. You need to call home. Using a satellite phone, I learned that my grandfather, Josh, we called him Dad, had just left for his heavenly reward. I can still see the image of my boots as I looked down at the ground while talking with my wife about what had happened. Along with the shock of this news, my heart ached with the truth that no matter how badly I wanted to, I could not make it off the mountain, get to an airport, and get home on time for the funeral. The only place I could find the strength to keep me sane in this moment was in knowing that I was square with Dad. I loved my grandfather, and he loved me. We didn't just assume that we loved one another. We spoke love to one another, for love that is real is love that is confirmed with both words and action. Were it not for knowing for certain that our hearts were one, together and bound in love, I don't know how I could have handled the hurricane of emotions that I was feeling at 11,000 feet on that New Mexico mountaintop. Are you reconciled with the people in your life? What possible reason can you find for living outside of the anointing that is found in being restored to the people God has placed around you? Colossians 3:13. Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you. And then he closes with a thought. What can you do today to become reconciled to a person who needs that from you? I just square with people. He was square with Dad. He didn't know that he would never see him again. You know what? This Holy Week is about God making us square with him. And he did it through Jesus Christ. He took the initiative. He came out of his love for us. And not only was he willing to wash feet, but he was willing to go to the cross. That's what he came for, so that we could be reconciled to God and to each other. He's given us the ministry of reconciliation. Let's love one another. Let's get square with each other, and let us rejoice that we are squared away with God through Jesus. We're going to talk more about that sacrifice on Good Friday. This is Pastor John, the outdoor pastor from 15:5 Ministries. Have a blessed Holy Week.